Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Zero from TechDragon.info, and today we're gonna take a look at the Jagdpanzer IV, also known as the Jagdpanzer IV. I think I pronounced that right. My German is a bit rusty though, but I think I pronounced it alright. Anyways, nickname Flat Panzer, and I think you can see why. It seems like a mouse has been stomping on top of this thing. I think even the ASU-100 is taller. And that's a pretty small tank already. So, yeah, Flat Panzer. What do you need to know about this tank? Well, I'm gonna tell you in this video. And I'm gonna give you all the plus sides of the tank, the negatives, and show you a game of how I think you should play it. So, let's take a look at the research path. It's a kind of good news, bad news situation. The engine, if you researched it before, you should have, but I mean, I'm pretty sure you can skip it, I think. Yeah, you don't have to go through the engines, but it's a, I recommend you do research the engines already because it carries over. Now, the gun is where the sort of problem lies with this tank. The stock gun that it comes with is not good. 110 pen, 110 damage, 0.37 accuracy, key. Then you have a telephone. Shut up, phone. I swear that damn phone. Anyways, you have a sort of derp gun, the same one that you get on the Hetzer, but by this time, tier 6, people are gonna have more armor than, you had back then, so your shots are gonna penetrate less, and your damage is gonna be way less. So if you do 100 damage with this thing, you're gonna get lucky. It won't work in this tier anymore, especially if you get into a bottom tier game. Forget it. Not gonna work. Final gun, some people, not a whole lot, but some people use this thing. I think it's a buttload of crap, to be honest. 132 pen at tier 6? No. Just no. As a TD, you don't always have the luxury of shooting at weak spots because you're usually further away. So, no. So the only gun, in my opinion, is the L70, which is an okay gun. Okay? Let's put it out there. It has its good qualities and it has its bad qualities. For me, the accuracy at 0.33 is a lie. I would say that this thing behaves more as a 0.34, 0.35, to be honest. The gun seems to deviate quite a bit. Aim time is excellent, though. Penetration is lacking. I mean, even 122 mil has better pen than this. So penetration is definitely lacking. Damage is, of course, very low. And apparently the game servers are unavailable. Awesome. So, rate of fire is pretty decent for a pretty okay DPM. But the penetration and the accuracy, even though it's supposedly pretty accurate, I do see my shots deviate quite a bit. Now, I don't have the best crew on here anymore, because I moved them over to the tier 7. As you can see here, the Jagdpanzer. So, yeah, I don't have my crew anymore, so my crew is a bit shitty right now. But, yeah, that will, be part of the problem right now for aiming and stuff. But anyways, speed on this thing, it's pretty mobile with a 440 horsepower engine. It's pretty mobile, and it's let's take a quick look here at the stats. Turn it so we can actually read it. So there we go. It has 600 hit points. If we compare that to the ASU-100, it has 580, so it has a little bit more. It does have some chance to bounce. I mean, it's pretty sloped armor, but as you can see, it's only 80 millimeters. So with sloping, I would say that at best you might have about 100 if you, angle it like this, and they're shooting from this angle, like right here. You might be able to get it up to 100, maybe. That's like the best case scenario, so most people will just pin you anyways. Lower plate is pretty obvious, but to be honest, people really don't need it. The rest of this armor is just thin enough that they'll get through. Gun mantlet, though, is pretty bouncy. If they hit your gun mantlet, it's more than likely gonna bounce, so that's pretty good. Traverse speed is pretty good on this thing. I hate this garage. It's so hard to show the stats. I think this was okay. There we go. Traverse speed 35, so that's pretty good. Speed limit 40, it gets up to 40 pretty quick as well, so it's a reasonably mobile TD. Hull armor, like I said, it's, 80, it's not the worst, but definitely not the best. Shell damage and stuff we've talked about. Gun traverse 26 is pretty good. View range 350, it's pretty blind, and signal range I don't think I have the top radio on here. I do. 450 is pretty poor for tier 6. Let's compare that to the SU-100 here. Actually, let's just pull this up. It's a bit easier to read than the stupid side panel. I wish they made this a little bit more or less transparent black behind it. Anyways, so hit points, JPZ4 wins. It's actually quite a bit lighter than the SU-100 as well. It also has a lesser engine, so that's probably why. The SU-100 does have a better top speed, slightly better traverse, less armor, but again, it's pretty sloped and a pretty thick gun mantlet, so that's pretty similar on both tanks, to be honest. Now, the gun is where things get really different between the two. View range is identical. The SU-100 has a way better signal range, though, well over 100 more. So, the gun on the SU-100 is the 122mm, which is arguably a better gun, but it depends on the situation. If you're gonna get spotted, it's better to have this gun than this gun. If you're gonna only get one shot and then you have to pull back, then your reload doesn't really matter all that much, because you're gonna have to wait until you're invisible anyways, and you know, that takes about 5-6 seconds. Reload on this thing is 3.7 on top of my head. We'll have to look. I'm not entirely sure. Something like that. And this one is about 10 seconds. So, you know, you're gonna get spotted. That's one thing I have to mention, by the way. For some reason, this tank seems to get spotted a lot from far, far away. So I don't know if it's just my crew that's shit. I mean, I do run this thing with a camo net, binoculars and camo net. And yet, even when I'm not firing, people seem to spot me behind a bush. I don't know what the hell's going on with this thing, but it just gets spotted. Now, I didn't really have a good time on this tank. However, before you start nagging that I'm saying it's a bad tank and all that, it's not a bad tank, but it's definitely not a good tank either. The SU-100 has this 122mm, which has the derp factor. This tank, it has, you know, rate of fire. I mean, I do have a 58% win rate. I have killed 7 people with it in one game. You know, I have a vehicles destroyed of 1.39. Spotted not a whole lot, but you know, duh, it's a TD. My damage ratio is 1.9. See, shut up, Foam. Jeez, he really wants to let you guys know that he's here, I guess. So I'm not doing bad on this tank at all. Almost a 70% hit rate. That's what I mean. For some reason, the shots just seem to deviate a lot in this gun, and I don't know why. The accuracy doesn't show the whole picture. Anyways, that's more than enough rambling for me. Let's take a look at some gameplay. So, here we are on the cliff maps, as you can see. And, reasonable matchup. A lot of tier 6s, a couple of tier 5s, and a handful of tier 4s. So, pretty good matchup for this tank, I have to say. Oh, the replay seems to be a bit jittery. I'm having some issues with the 9.0 replays. I haven't been running too well. A couple of glitches here and there. Anyways, I take up my favorite spot here, and let me actually go to external camera. The reason I like this is because you have a bush here, where I'm sitting behind, and there's more bushes up in front of me. Turn the camera, see where my crosshair is? So, I'm always double bushed here. I don't have to pull back, I can just sit here, wait for my camo net, and shoot people. Gun traverse is okay, horizontal gun traverse. I mean, the gun arc, I should say. As you can see on the green arrows on my screen, that's how far you can move your gun from left to right. I got myself some coffee in the meantime. So, we're waiting for targets to line up. There's a couple of them around the corner there, but this PZ4D is kind of in the way. I actually need to kill one of those still. For the expert Germany. I still need to kill one of those dang things. Is the expert or nah, whatever, you know what I mean. So, KV2 and SU-85 and M3 Lee on the other side of the map. 82 is getting shot in the face. Hellcat is getting pummeled by shots from everywhere. And we're TD, we're a squishy TD, so we're just gonna relax in the back. Case of not my problem. As you can see, there's a lot of tree cover here as well. There's just a lot of cover. That's why this is a really safe spot, and you're not going to get lit up. Unless people get closer off to the sides more, you're not going to get lit up. Our 88 is deciding to move up. Okay. So, yeah, this tank, as you can see, it gets up to like 30 kilometers relatively quickly on grasslands. No, arrow, arrow, arrow. What? Oh, I think I just have his turret. Where did that shot go? Okay, that one goes in. So, once it's a tier 6 game, the penetration is okay. Once you get into bottom tier games, that penetration is really gonna show. And when you're shooting at heavies at long range, most of your shots are just gonna bounce, and it's really frustrating. I mean, if you think about it, the 122mm guns have 175 pen, and even that is considered low for, you know, against most tanks. It's enough for this tier, don't get me wrong. Put one in. Just trying to hit his flat parts here, so I don't have to. There we go, another one in. As you can see, the rate of fire is pretty good, but not a lot of damage per shot. But we did manage to do 620 damage to him. So capture back there. Hit him. Arrow. We just lost sight of him. Dang it, trying to find the target. So, I noticed that I'm sitting a little bit too far forward here, but they don't seem to be spotting me, so. First shot in. Finish off the Matilda. I actually had an outline on him. I couldn't really tell, but put one in the arrow. Miss. Yeah, see. I mean, with a full turret view, and yet it deviated so much that it missed. This just seems to be happening on this tank. Don't know why. Maybe it's my crew. Although, no, actually, when I was playing this game, my crew was still my other crew that's now in my JPZ, or my Jagdpanzer, excuse me. So, I don't know. It's just something I noticed. This gun just seems to misbehave a lot. Put another one in the arrow. Can we finish him off? Yes, we can. And shit. Just noticed things on my side. Put a shot into me. Try to get our second shot off into him, and oh crap, the other flank has completely failed. Oh balls. Ah, crap. Yes, I'm sorry for camping the one line. It's not like I'm at CD or anything. Oh wait. They still had like 5 tanks in front of us. We had to drive into an open field while they have hard cover in front of them. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. SU-152. SU-85. There we go. Finish him off. Bounce a shot from T-28. So tier 4s you can bounce with this kind of armor. Anything higher? Not likely. Checking if we have a... Nope, we don't have a line on them. People in chat are bitching, as usual. Oh, there he is. Ah, darn. But I'm pretty sure he spotted me with that pass by. Darn it. Time for another sip of coffee. Building that I'm behind gets hit, so they definitely know where I'm at. And this is not looking too great for our team, although we have pressed on to their base. And are now putting pressure on their base, so that's a good thing. We're starting to cap. That really puts the pressure on them. They really need to make a move. There he is. He misses. Got one shot into him. 2 shots into him. We miss our third shot. We don't have too much of a line on him, but luckily he backs out to the point where I can see him for a 5th kill in the game. Shit, they started capping. Oh crap, Hellcat right in front of me. Did not expect that. Did not need that. So we put 1 shot into him. Put 2 into him. Take another shot from him. Get engine damage. That seems to be a problem with this thing. Engine damage a lot. I fixed my engine. We are heading towards a tie. Yeah. Not sure if I'm gonna get there in time. Light him up, but I can't see him. I stopped for a second. Don't have a line on him. But I couldn't tell that. And we cap. Is it a tie? Is it a victory? We don't know yet. And I think it was a victory. Phew! It was a victory. That was our ace tanker game. Master Gunner. We got a high caliber and a top gun. We just did damage to pretty much the entire enemy team almost. Kills Driver as a radio operator. yeah, you think this was a carry? So as you can see, I only needed 1089 experience to get an ace tanker, so people are not doing too well on this tank. I mean, that's pretty low for an ace tanker for tier 6. So 2600 damage is roughly what you need for an ace tanker, give or take. So you really didn't need that much to get ace tanker, so people just don't seem to be doing too well, and I understand why. The gun is not great. It's workable, as you saw. Good rate of fire. Accuracy is could use a bit of a tweak, I would say. A good crew will help with that. But overall, it's a very functional tank, and it's doable to grind through it. It's not my favorite, though, but it's, as you can see, I finished it pretty decently, and yeah, it works. It's a high rate of fire. Penetration is a bit lacking. Accuracy is good, but it feels like it's missing a little bit. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.